I fucking pumped them.
So what happened there, Drew? They were full health.
Oh, the same thing that happens every time. They're just like, hey, fuck you, you don't get to cast anything. Stun, stun, stun. Interrupt. Push back. Repentance. Fucking bullshit. Dead.
And you get a ton of anima, right? 500 anima. You're like halfway through your weekly with it, right? Drew loves anima, as you can see. Like,
I'm rolling the dice.
oh,
That's what that was.
That's
in case you
what you're
guys were
doing,
wondering.
huh? All right. Right. Apparently, I didn't have my mic set up for this screen either.
You know what they say about that?
Waiting for it.
Yeah. I like it a lot better than the last fix. Tanking wise, it makes completing the dungeons a lot easier, and it makes accidentally pulling extra packs really not matter that much. There's a different way to do each dungeon now. Like with the other side, you have to do like the complete ring to get everything, and then you dip into one of the halls to get one of the powers, and then stuff like that. But overall, for tanking, I like it a lot better. And the actual powers you get for tanking are pretty nice because like each tank kind of has their weakness, and you can kind of smooth those out with the anima powers.
Yeah, fill them in. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I know that the choices available depend on your role. Yeah. Like for instance, the tank people don't get the same fixes as the DPS people, and you know, same with the healers. But I also know that they're gonna be like you can see on MDT, you could like actually click on the guy and he'll give you all of the powers that he has available to him.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It's just the 3 though for your role each week. I thought that it was gonna shift or change a little bit, but based on information from like Dratnos, this is it. Like this is the affix. This is what we got. So
all right, well, then I don't mind.
I don't mind it, but it's also kind of a non-affix, which I also maybe don't mind that either. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's nice to not have to worry about interrupts, though, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of okay to have one season of just a non-affix. Because to me, there's 4 good powers. Each lieutenant has 1 good power. I'm just gonna auto select that every time, and Tormented might as well not even be a thing if this is it, you know. That being said, it's cool. Like, I mean, bosses are at least somewhat interesting, so it's fun to see where you can save time, you know, skipping them or pulling them into a pull. The reward of it is okay. It's just kind of, you know, static is all.
Yeah. I'm having a great time. So
I'm having a fantastic time. Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter if you can get back to the beginning of the dungeon, it's not a big deal. But like in the Pacifix, one of the dungeons that's the most punishing with that was Necrotic Wake, because if you hit 100% early, it would be in the middle of all the mobs that spawn. So it wasn't a good thing. And then sometimes you'd pull it with the boss. So I'm glad that fix is gone because that was horrible.
It's not really a big deal. There's some anima powers that really shell up mana regen.
And honestly, like, I watch Elsamir on Twitch sometimes, and he would have to bust cooldowns on those packs to get them down. So they don't have to bust those cooldowns anymore. So it's actually a plus because they didn't have to worry about mana period anyways. But
yeah, but there's some of those powers for healers. I am not set up for resto at all. I healed a Healed a 12 mists. There's a 10 mists, 11 mists. Sorry. Healed an 11. I mean, no issues. Was running low on mana one time, but I had that like you drink really fast power, so got a drink of water and I was full mana super quick.
So from what I understand, the locations are going to be static, but the actual lieutenants are going to change, just kind of like in 8.3, with you entering different obelisks, but there being different bosses on the inside. They're all pretty weak unless you pull them with exactly the wrong type of trash.
Yeah.
And
Most
sometimes
of their dangerous ability comes from like just their passive, right? So the frost guy, he's got the slow, so all of his abilities aren't really a big deal. They're just kind of scary when you're slowed, especially if there's other shit going on that you pulled with it.
Right.
It's good. That's the way it has been in the past. So it's the way Valor Cap works. It was just kind of goofy the way they put it in. What's that? It could have, but that's too much. That's a lot of like possible upgrades. I guess not really, but definitely lets you push higher earlier.
So another thing too is like you can only get so high end of dungeon gear right for this week.
Yeah.
So it's a waste to upgrade anything this week.
Yeah, 229 end of dungeon. It's the highest. But then I'm still not sure if the vault is capped because I've heard mixed
Yeah,
shit there.
from
I
what
heard
I've heard it's not.
I heard that it was, and then I heard that it wasn't, and now I have heard that it is again. Because I have a 12 done, and that's 246 gear.
Right.
Somebody said they have done a 14 or a 15, and it still shows them 246.
Yeah, from what I've heard, and like I watch Dratnos pretty much whenever he puts out shit.
Yeah.
He's usually right? So he said that like, you know, you can get the reasons for doing Mythic Plus this week is you can get that 15 key done and get the gear for it next week. So he might be wrong, but that's his take on it. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I've heard mixed shit all over the place. Like I heard that 10 was the vault cap, and then I heard there was no cap, and now I've heard that 12 is the vault cap. Which I'm just gonna vent this out real quick. How the fuck does it make sense that end of dungeon gear is capped at 229, which is less than heroic, but 15 end of dungeon is still less than heroic, and heroic is out. So why is it capped at 229, but the vault can reward you a mythic item level piece?
Oh, well, because the vault is actually next week, and the vault is
but you're going into mythic with a mythic piece.
Yeah, but you don't. Starting next week, you can get up to 50, like up to the end of dungeon 15s. With their full value.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is like, so that full value at plus 15 end of dungeon is still less than heroic, which is out right now. You can go clear heroic and get bigger than even 15 end of dungeon. So why is it capped at 229? Like, it just seems weird that that's the thing that is capped, you know?
It is, but also you can upgrade, right?
I mean, yeah, it's. I don't care. Like, I don't care that it's capped at 229. I'll load up on 229s, and then, like, right now, all of my 229 gear from Mythic Plus is like fantastic stats for me. So those slots are pretty much filled. I'm upgrading the fuck out of those for sure.
Well, that's for end of dungeon. So I've completed a 14 in game, and it says current reward is 249, and it says improved item level 252 by clearing 15.
Yeah,
so that's
Risen.
in game.
Okay, so Risen must have been wrong on that because he was saying like, "Oh, I have a 14 or a 15," and it still says 246. So yours doesn't. So
Yeah, I think what he might be confused about is 12 and 13 are the same. So if he did a 12 and
Right.
got 246 end, then he
Right.
raised it up and got 13, got 246 end. That's just how it works. So
yeah. Yeah, so if it is, so week 1, this is for season 1. This is exactly how it was apparently. Week 1 capped at plus 10 end of dungeon, and then plus 14 weekly vault,
yeah, which was the highest you could get.
which was the highest, so it would still be plus 15 this time. So it's consistent, so we can assume that's the way it works then.
Right.
This is not correct.
Well, no, this is the second page hacked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you go to the first page, then we're not even on there because we've only done a couple dungeons on those characters. So
Right, and
I was about to say, we have some big scores.
right. Apparently, I didn't have my mic set up for this
Oh,
screen either.
Your guardian shit. My bad.
Yeah, this is the druid battle right now. So we got Drew with 3 of them done. He's at 289. I did 111, and I'm at 159. So right now, Druid is in the lead currently, or Drew the Druid.
Druid.
Oh man, how did you miss that opportunity of naming your character Druid with a W?
someone else had it, but my Druid's always been Druidina. So
All right. Well, and then just for Hack to see where these guys are at. This Mav
No,
guy
no,
lives in this.
Yep. Mav pumps. That's his shit.
I take one day off, and I drop 2. Anymore.
Man, so my Druid's done 1, and it's the highest out of my characters. Oh no, there we go. I got 348, so I'm winning on my.
Yeah, you're almost on the first page, bud.
On my almost main. So we'll get into that later in the show too.
But we've got like all 10s done already. I don't think it's out of reach for us to get 15s done this week.
Yeah.
Monday's
gonna be the big push, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what the fixes are. If there's something crazy or something easy, but fixes haven't been too horrible in general, right? This whole expansion, because they fixed a couple or tweaked a couple of the variables with some of them. All right, good deal. Anything else on Mythic Plus you guys want to touch on?
Brad is asking me if I want to do my Plague key right now. That's kind of Mythic Plus.
All right. Well, you should point out that he should be watching the show and get his priorities in order. So.
No, doing the podcast.
One thing I gotta say is if you're chasing gear out of these dungeons, just wait. Just wait until next week. Because best case scenario, you get it to drop it at 10, and then you have to upgrade it all the way, right? So if you're actually going in there for certain pieces, I would wait until you can get them at a higher drop level.
Yeah, but you're also pretty close. Like even at 229, like don't have that far to go max it out.
You have to upgrade it so many times, and we don't get the big chunk of valor this time. So you gotta really be stingy with the things you upgrade.
Yeah.
So on numbers, if you get it at 10, you can get it 5 away. So you gotta do 5 hits on it. And if it's a trinket, you're looking at 400. 4 times 5 puts you at 20, right?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the piece, like trinkets are going to be super worth it. So that's one upgrade the first week, and then two upgrades the second week.
So I mean, 3 weeks of valor to max it out.
3 weeks of valor, and you have your best in slot trinket maxed out.
True, but if you get them the highest amount, you can get multiple items maxed out.
That's true. Plus, if you get it out of the vault, then it's all for naught.
Right, yeah.
I think that's your goal anyway.
But if you're getting them all maxed out, then you can't upgrade them. So then valor's wasted loot, right?
I thought you could upgrade still. What's the max upgrade value? The max and the dungeon is 236.
That's max, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is
It
like
didn't work that way last patch.
Oh, that's true, because you could upgrade to 220.
Yeah.
double audio.
So in this aspect, like in this season, that would be 246 is what like based on last season, you'd be able to upgrade all your dungeon gear to 246.
Yeah, that should be what it is, right?
Yeah. I don't know if that's the case at the moment, though.
There we go, Moose. That fix it.
Yeah, I'm in game. I'll look.
Yeah, so 236 is the max level. So this was kind of a catch-up mechanic, right?
Okay, so you could upgrade it to 246. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? So you can go above.
But also, you need a mythic rating of 2,000, so you need to get your 15s done in order to get that.
So 236 is... Yeah, so that's rank 9. So rank 7 is 229. So 2 ranks up is the max end of dungeon drop. And then you still have 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, and those cost a lot of valor. So...
I mean, they cost the same amount.
Yeah, but to upgrade it those 3 times costs 1,200. And we're getting how much per week?
750.
750. So, yeah, you don't want to waste that, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so wait, you can upgrade past the max you can achieve? Is that what I'm understanding now? You can get 236, but you can go 3 bumps above that max you can grab?
So what he's saying is, instead of upgrading where you have it at 229, it saves you, like on this chest piece, for instance, it's 475 per upgrade. So if I just wait until it drops at 236 from a plus 15, then that saves me 950 valor.
Yeah, which is more
doing
than 1
the
week.
rank 8 and the rank 9 upgrade. If I just wait and hopefully it drops at rank 9, at 236, then I only have 3 upgrades instead of 5, and it saves me 950. So
the bottom line is don't upgrade anything right now.
So save your valor for the stuff that drops when you start pushing 15s. And then let's throw this in the Mythic Plus side. Tazavesh. Hakkd, have you been in there yet? Have you checked this new dungeon out?
I have not.
Alright, I'm just talking to Drew this morning. He hasn't been in there yet. Hopped in there last night with 4 guys from the guild and then this pug healer. And he said he only had 2 hours, so we had to push it. Went in there with Moose also. They did good. I feel weird giving Blizzard credit for things just because it's been kind of a dumpster fire of an expansion, but this is a good dungeon with some good boss fights.
Well, that's not fair to like. So their content is always good. So like giving them credit on dungeon, I mean that's good, but Castle Nathria was fantastic. The raids were fantastic, as they always are. The dungeons that we have are fantastic.
Right.
Especially now that we don't have Prideful mucking them up. I appreciate them more. Like they're good. So, of course, the dungeon's gonna be good, right?
Yeah,
That's
I think the only
that's
problem.
that's never the issue with WoW.
Yeah, the
Right?
problem with WoW is the
Systems.
systems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Systems and content droughts. Just timing and communication and systems.
So, couple good pointers for it here is what's nice is it's got like a teleport system that basically almost lines up to every boss. So if you wipe, you can teleport to it. There's not like the 8 mile run back.
Right.
Like from being in TBC lately, like that run back's just ridiculous. So like it's not as aggressive of a run back, especially when they turn it into a timed one, having those teleports to get to each part of the zone. Like you kind of mark your spot, like the seeds and mist type aspect.
Yeah.
So, one quick question, Lynx. Since you were in there, did you get any gear?
I did. I got a trinket off the last boss.
Is that stuff upgradable? Like, is the hard mode stuff upgradable?
It is
We
not.
didn't do
So
hard
just
mode.
fixed it at
We just did
233.
normal.
Yep.
And it was
So
226.
It's gonna be good at like now to do hard mode will be good for like trinkets and minor upgrades, but it's gonna get outscaled fast.
Yeah, that's what's weird. Is like you would think they would at least make it upgradable.
Yeah, it's worth it short term. Well, it's not Mythic Plus, So
Yeah, it's true.
Right, but there are some weird trinkets in there. Like the one I got off the last boss,
Some good
it's
ones.
agility base, but then I can put it on one of my allies. It gives them 20% of their highest secondary stat, and it gives me 100 of that secondary stat. So I've got to figure out who has my stat, and then I give them a 20 bump on it. I get 100 of it.
that
So-
trinket is gonna be good. But like when Mythic Plus comes out, that trinket is gonna be good. The ticking sack of terror is pretty good. It's a mastery trinket that like stacks up really fast and just explodes for big damage over and over. And then they have a new elemental trinket. It's a minuscule male elemental in an envelope instead of BFA's tiny electromental in a jar. That is haste with a
So-
damage proc.
Quick question for Hacked.
Yeah.
Is there anything in that dungeon like the bracers for Fire Mage in the other one, where it doesn't matter what rank you get, you have to get one in order to make your spec work?
I don't think so. There's no
They have
there's
on
no
use
special
things.
effects.
They do have those in there. There were a few of them that dropped for Antoro. Got like a bracers that had it. I don't know if it's going to be as broken as the Fire Mage was, but they did have some gear pieces that had effects like that too.
Yeah, because I know though they had ones in there, and they had ones designed for tanks, and they were just bad. They're just horrible.
Yeah, I don't see any. None for clothies or male wearers, at least.
Okay.
I'm seeing.
Because that was the big driving factor behind people doing Mechagon even after that first week, where you kind of outscaled the gear. Was that you had to go in there and get that for your mage if you want them to be able to do things proper.
There's a bow in here that has an on equip, and it's also still got 2 secondary stats. Your damaging critical strikes grant you stack of preternatural charge. When you reach 5 stacks, your next crit will consume all stacks that tear open a rift, inflicting 253 damage. Doesn't seem good. Seems like a lot of work for 250 damage.
Yeah. I can totally see that place just being a ghost town, only for people that want to get achievements or mounts.
I think this is what Hans got. Become enraged after being disarmed, increasing your size by 10% and auto attack damage by 100%. That might be good in PvP, but
Okay, yeah, it had
Some
enrage
risks.
on it.
just seems really. I feel bad because obviously they put a lot of work into it, right? And it's not even going to be like something that people go into. I don't think.
No, people are gonna eat it up. They're gonna love it. Like it looks like a good dungeon. I'm excited to go try it at some point. It's just not on my like priority list.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Is like it's not going to be on my priority list until it gets split into half and put into Mythic Plus.
Yeah, I mean, I will say like, hey, I'm totally down to go do hard mode, and if I get a 223 mail elemental in an envelope, I'll be happy with that. Like, that'll be nice.
It's not in the slot that your legendary is it?
No, it's a trinket.
Okay.
Like the trinkets in here, some of them look pretty nutty. Like the tank trinket seems pretty good. Build up stacks when you. No, sorry. Taking damage is a chance for you to unleash this shit for 12 seconds, reflecting 10% of incoming damage, up to 5k per blow.
For tanks, you put that has a chance to, and it's like nope.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Taking damage grants you a chance. Depends what the proc rate is though.
I guess, but I don't know. Like for tanks, you want that extra CD out of a trinket slot.
Depends if the damage is big, like the damage reflect, because then you just go into like procs from corruption that tanks fucking loved, you know?
Or what about the cheat death one? Now we've got 2 cheat death trinkets in the game, like the one from Sun King, and there's one I believe that comes off of the new raid too.
I don't know. I got a cheat death baked into my character, so I don't really need that.
Best cheat death.
The Demon Hunters have a cheat death? Oh, it like makes you
Yeah.
your talent, right? Last talent row.
Last resort, yeah.
Last resort.
Yeah, like Moose said, the next few weeks I'd be down to go back through it, but then like it took us an hour and 45 minutes to kill 8 bosses, so like there are a few wipes in there. That's just a huge time sink, though. It's almost like a raid night. So
like eventually, like this next week, you're gonna start out gearing that place so hard that it's not even gonna matter.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you'll be out gearing it this week. Or maybe even next week. Mostly considering that we're doing normal right now, and based on our night on Painsmith, like we'll be in normal for a few weeks, I think.
all right, good deal. Well, in an effort to keep this going, we'll wrap that up with Mythic Pluses and Tazavesh. World boss this week. It's a week Axe been waiting for. It's going to be Valinor out in the northwest corner of Bastion. This is going to be for the Elemental Shaman and Rep Paladin. You guys need to get out there. It's your single target BIS Legendary Memories. If you hadn't got those yet, if you switched your alts, again, Rep Paladin, Elemental Shaman. If you play Holy Priest, you can go out and get your Battle Res one, but nobody really uses it. It's just kind of a cool one just to fill that checklist. Also, want to get your guys' thoughts. So we had this week, the new world boss came out. He's not going to be up every week, right? Or is he going to be up every week?
He should be.
So we're going to have him every week. What are your thoughts on the placement of this guy being behind like a whole dungeon worth of ads that are elite?
I mean, the one in Bastion was kind of the same way, right?
Yeah.
It was, but it wasn't as bad because it wasn't all elites. Like, these ones smack you.
Yeah, I mean, I just run through them all and just keep running.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have too much problem with that. I have a problem with the actual boss and how he bugs out, and it's stupid. It's just a stupid boss. Like, I get it. I get it. You know, kill the thing before it gets to the place and you all die, but it doesn't even do that. And then I don't even understand it. There's people bouncing. There, like it's just
The
chaotic.
things are trying to close in, and he only takes damage if he's within their square. So you have to keep all the four corners out to keep the area big, so that the boss stays in the
And
area.
so-
It's dumb. Yeah, it's dumb, dude. I had a Death Knight spam gripping one of the corners in, so the boss just wasn't taking damage. Like every time grip was up,
Yeah.
somebody would fucking grip it in. I was like,
Yeah, that happened to
dude,
me too. And
fuck you guys. Like this, it took so long. And then
was-
the World Quest was bugged out, and I didn't get fucking credit.
yeah,
It was stupid.
yeah, it's just dumb. Like, how did they not foresee that happening? Like,
They did. They needed another hour, but imagine the outrage.
All right, so World Boss gets 1 out of 5 stars. So, not the biggest fan. Drew's okay with the placement of it. He's not okay with the mechanics of it. Myself, I just sat there and auto attacked while I watched Netflix, so it didn't matter to me. So,
it didn't make you angry that you saw these guys closing in, and all of a sudden they're gripped like 8 different directions repeatedly.
see,
Oh
we
my
didn't
God.
have the grip issue. We had the no good damage issue, so it just took like 8 hours anyways. So,
That's because they closed in, man.
well, they didn't close in. Like the couple damage that was there was able to push him back, but the boss just had so much health with everybody's gear, it just took forever. But the dying on that boss and then the run back, like that sucks because you can't run back to your body. You got to run through the death gauntlet again.
Yeah.
So-
Well, if you remember the world boss over in the underwater place last expansion, pretty much the rule is like if you die at 30% or less, just stay dead on the floor so that you can get credit for it. Because if
okay.
you're released and he dies while you're released, you don't get credit for it.
Yeah, like the what, the 3 bosses or the three water guys.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. So, we'll see. World Boss should be up next week. Go chase after your 233, I think is what it drops, and a nice mastery plus stat trinket. So, and then you get a ton of anima, right? 500 anima. You're like halfway through your weekly with it, right? Drew loves anima, as you can see. Like,
I'm rolling the dice.
oh,
That's what that was, in case you guys were wondering.
Huh? All right, clipping that shit. That happened at 35. All right. So there's World Boss of the Week. Let's roll into the raid. So we got final numbers here for Cutting Edge for the Donnie raid. It ended at 2,189 guilds getting Cutting Edge. This part was crazy though. 259 guilds got Cutting Edge in pre-patch week. So
How many? Sorry?
259 it jumped up. Like it jumped up 100 the week before, but 259 in that extra week got it done. And look at these alliance numbers. Alliance got 520, 63 in pre-patch. Like that's some kind of big percentage, right?
It's almost like there was nothing to do that first week, right?
Well, and then the increased power to go back to that, right? Because something changed, right? Like the updates to the classes, or what did we get in pre-patch that?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Like, what would make it stupid
Well,
easy?
I mean, like you would bring everybody up to basically the 220 level. But if you were into 220, what are you doing in Mythic?
Yeah, I was about to say, if you were, you had to have been on Stone Legion Generals and farming that every week on Mythic.
Well, that last week some variable switched because the numbers doubled
Yeah,
in for
something must-
Alliance. They tripled how many people got it the week prior in that pre-patch.
Yeah. Honestly, probably what it was a
Something
lot of
must-
people coming back because they hear it's a patch, and then they're not having anything to do, but them having the availability of having people online to be able to probably raid.
Right.
Oh, all the good raiders finally came back and like, okay, let's just finish this now, and they were fresh. So, all right.
I guess so.
Next week, race for world first drops. So we got Mythic opening up, we got Raid Finder Wing 1 opening up. let's talk about Might's progress. So as a guild, we went 6 of 10, right?
We start out the gate so freaking fast, man.
Right,
Well,
we
I
did.
knew that was gonna be the case. Like, I knew that there was gonna be some sort of wall. I honestly didn't think Friday was gonna be such a just. I didn't think that he was gonna be such a pain in the ass. Payne Smith is a pain in the ass.
Right, we went
Yeah.
4 or 5 of 10 on the first night. 4 of 10. How many did we do?
5.
5 of 10.
We did 5 on Wednesday, and 1 on Friday.
And then the night I took off for the kids' birthday, you guys could only kill 1 boss without me. Like, I don't know if
We were on Payne Smith all night.
It was tough, man.
It's a bitch. It was fun though.
it's a fun fight though, right?
So yeah, like
a good fight.
it was a bitch. We put 2 hours into normal Payne Smith. I didn't think that there was gonna be a boss until like maybe KT or Sylvanas that we had to put a whole 2-hour raid night into. But fuck, like that dude was hard.
Yeah, I mean, what's hard about that is there's just some things you can't make up for if you make mistakes, right, during the fight.
Yeah. Yep.
Both tanks have to do exactly what they need to be doing.
Yep.
Random people who get this debuff have to do exactly what they're supposed to be doing. The entire raid has to basically, I don't. It's just like everybody has to do what they have to do for that fight.
Yeah, I mean, there was certain parts like we had to definitely weed out all the like minor, easy to fix mistakes first, because there was a lot of shit like the intermission. Like we had people dying in the intermission at first, or just taking stupid amounts of damage. But like, I'm cool with the damage taken, but like people are dying in the intermission, and that's just there's no reason to. So let's talk about that for a second. Fix that. All right, cool, we're good. And I mean, we made progress every single time. Every pull was progress. So it's not like we weren't learning anything. It's just little by little,
Yeah, it's seriously is a kick in the nuts to go into normal like that, though. Yeah, definitely.
Right, so I guess I didn't see any of you guys' progress on there. I hopped in with another guild last night and spent about an hour on it, but how many paladins do we have raiding with this? Just one?
Just one.
One, yeah.
So they had about 3 or 4. So if it got to a point where the tank couldn't make it through, they would bop the boss and they could just run through any point of those balls. So there's a way to cheese the ball line. So if a tank gets a bop on them, they can just run through the ball line and get to their corner if the DPS is taking a while to kill that middle ball.
Okay, that's good to know.
So that helped immensely, especially towards later phases, having the bop rotation.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like the spikes weren't that big of a deal because
Yeah.
a
Yep.
lot of people were just taking the spike damage instead of taking the fireball to the face because the
I
spikes were
actually-
killing them.
Yeah, I pointed that out towards the end of the night. I was like, guys, if you need to get hit by spikes, get hit by spikes. They don't one-shot. The ball does. Like, other shit does. If you stand near the tank, it will one-shot you. Just take the spikes.
Right. And how close up were you guys to the wall when the intermission came? Were you like 4 or 5 blocks towards the wall, or like how? what
I
was
always
your
just
sweet
ran
spot?
to the back of the room. No matter
Yeah.
where I was when it was starting, I ran to the back of the room.
Oh, you guys didn't stack.
No, there's no reason to. Somebody did point that out at one point, like, hey, let's stack and get these, swirls stacked up nice and tight. And I basically said, like, no, I hang back at, like, the old safe spot because I'm in Ghost Wolf. So if one does pick me to be on, that's one swirly that's just out of the way completely. And I never had a problem, no matter where people dropped them. Like, there's plenty of room to like move forward or backward as you're getting to your safe spot. Like, if your safe spot's here and there's a swirly in front of you, just stand still, wait for the spikes to pass you, then move. Like, you've got so much time to look and prepare.
So with you
At
being
least if you're on the
by
back half.
yourself, right? So with the bigger group though, like how are they handling
Not even
it?
by myself. A ton of people were doing that.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
she was doing that. Some of the hunters and demon hunters were doing that. Whereas, like, you would have just randomly placed swirlies that were just completely out of the way. And sometimes there would be one swirly near the safe spot for the group to dodge.
Okay.
So my argument is that if somebody does mess up and can't get out of the swirlies, that's 4 or 5 swirlies hitting them and they're gonna die, rather than just like, 3 of them are out of the way, so they're just gonna take a little chunk of damage.
Okay, so there's not a swirl per person. I guess I assumed it was per person. There's just a finite
No.
amount.
Yeah, it procs on random people, and there's only like 5, at least with the raid size we had at the time.
Right, and we found out somebody went AFK or their computer crashed or something. We were able to heal him through all that. So like from the spikes and the fire, he just took his own and he didn't die. So like the damage isn't that crazy across the board, but I guess since we were stacking, if somebody stayed in the swirls, they just got melted. So I guess maybe that's the downfall to that side too.
That's my thought on it. Is, I'd
Yeah,
rather not
honestly-
attack them and just let it be a personal responsibility thing.
Honestly, I would put if there's any blame to be put on the tanking of that fight, because I didn't do what I was supposed to do a lot of the times.
I mean,
Wake up call, definitely.
yeah, but that's one of the tank fights. Like, there's a lot to do as a tank there, especially like as we're progressing, where we're trying out different placements, and then we finally landed on corner, middle, corner for the phases. So
it was definitely a wake up call of like, hey, no, it's normal, but you still gotta freaking execute it correctly,
Well, Moose also just pointed out that Kazari was wheelchair class. He got shit on a couple of times. Like, a lot of the good pulls, it was unfortunately his fault of like not getting into place in time, just because the moment he realizes, like, if he doesn't realize, hey, I need to go here, if he doesn't know that right away, then he's not gonna make it. Unless he knows, I need to go here right now, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah, and like one thing that I picked up too is that timer, it's a little bit behind, because like I was trying to bait it, and then like, okay, well I can jump out as soon as right before it hits, and I would jump out, and it was like, oh, it already went off. I'm like, I'm on the edge here, but I guess I screwed everybody. So.
All right, good deal. So we've seen about half the raid. I've heard the bosses after this one are not too bad until you get up to Sylvanas. So this is kind of the it's not even a damage check really, right? It's just a mechanic check. Damage helps because you're less mechanics, but
Guardian or what?
Fun part is we're starting over on Wednesday, so
It'll
get to do them again.
It'll be fun.
Right, and the first boss with the animal powers, like I hadn't played my druid in months, and
Dude,
I just melted
you
shit.
Pumped.
It
Lynkz did like 10k on our Terror Group kill. Fucking pumped it.
You know what they say about that?
Waiting for it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter because you're switching mains.
Right? It made me rethink that. It was like, what happened to Feral? Like, because like I was ahead of balance, I was ahead of everybody. I was like, Feral is amazing, but no, just the random anima powers just made it a variable. So, all right, and then we've got a clip here of something in the raid, right?
Yeah, just a random clip that I could think of.
All right, what do we get going here? We need to have a intro to what's going on. Or we just gonna wing it.
Might banter. Just having fun shooting
I'm so
shit.
sorry. I'm going to try to fix my mouse during this trash. Listen to Hakkd.
I'm in charge now, bitches. You guys are fucked.
Look at the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Did you?
I am so sorry. I'm going to try to fix my mouse during this track. Listen to Hakkd.
Oh, this is from Wednesday, huh?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. And then we had... Did I grab the other one? Clips. Oh, bye.
There's some art.
I think I might just compile a bunch of these, like, knockbacks. Like, between,
Yeah.
like, people getting knocked off ledges and then me, like, out in the mod just kicking people off ledges. I might just make a compilation of people flying off things.
There's some RP.
Yeah, I was oh, goodbye!
There's
Oh, goodbye.
Alright, what do we got here from Moose?
Yeah. Check this out.
Is that orb in the back? That's from the...
Alright, and those of you guys, another fan favorite, we got Mr. Moose here in chat. Linked us a video of the raid here. Let's see what's going on in this clip.
Is that orb in the back? That's from the toy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Oh!
Oh,
No, who
what
did
the-
this spell? Who did this spell right away?
Rat
Come on,
was
Brad.
on me.
Rad, you can do it! Rad! Rad,
So,
no!
I don't know if you
like a
guys
Twitch reaction.
saw this in this video, but like, look in the back. Who's this demon hunter that's just pillar humping? Like, can you see this in the back here?
I'm pretty sure
Is
it's
that orb in the
Rad.
back? That's from the
He's
toy, right?
DC'd.
Just
Okay.
dancing in the corner over there?
Yeah.
Alright. Oh!
Oh,
No,
what
who
was
did
that?
this spell? Who did this spell right
Man,
away?
Moose, you were close there, though.
Who did this spell right away?
Look at his.
No, who
Look
did
at
this
his
spell? Who did
face.
this spell right away?
He's like.
Rat
Come on,
was
Brad.
on me.
Rad, you can do it! Rad! Rad, no!
That looked like a Twitch reaction.
I'm fucking dead.
Shit happens.
Oh,
Fuck.
nice. Good times.
The panic and then the relief, man. I love the epic music you have playing in the background there too. Just bum bum bada bum 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 bum.
Okay. Alright,
Like
good.
so intense.
Alright, so yeah, we'll see as we get through more bosses in the raid, see how this comes, see if we get new loot, that what weird stuff it does. Let's talk about Torghast now. So we got another level in Torghast. Have you got some of these 5s now with the vault? Like, have you done this yet? Have you got that level?
I've gotten some 5s. I unlocked the vault, but I haven't done it. Like I haven't done another run yet.
You haven't qualified to see what's in there.
Well, no, I just haven't done it again. I got 2 5-star runs this week. It's really not that hard. Like, you don't really have to do anything special. Just move at a decent pace and try to clear everything.
Alright, Drew. What about you? Did you get into the special vault there in Torghast?
I don't think so. I did it early in the week. I just
Well,
I
you have
just go
to
through.
unlock it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then no. I just run it to get the stuff at the end, and then that's it. So I do it as fast as I can. I don't care about stars. So.
Well, also you have to even if you get a 5-star run, if you haven't unlocked adamant vaults from the box of many things yet, then it's just not there. So
Yeah.
like I did my 2 Torghasts this week. I 5-starred them both. But they gave me the capped me on tower research, and then I unlocked adamant vaults from the box of many things. So I just haven't. I'd be going in to do another Torghast for no reason, just to get the adamant vaults at the end.
Right. And yeah, I honestly I haven't that box thing. I keep on forgetting to go over and do that, which I guess makes it a lot easier.
It does.
I should probably do that.
Yeah.
The auto loot thing is a game changer. Like that's
So good. So
That's,
good.
did a run this morning on my 4th different tune going through that. Like I was like, oh shit, I gotta pick these up again. So
I'm actually surprised and it'll probably wear off, and I'll be over it. But I'm actually enjoying Torghast. I
It's
don't mind it.
quicker.
It's actually kind of fun.
I like that it takes less time.
Yeah.
Right. That
I don't know. I like basically for me and what I do, I live to do Mythic Plus. I live to raid, and then I want to start doing PvP stuff. Anything other than that is just kind of like them forcing me to do something else that I don't want to do, but I have to do.
right. Fair. So hopefully, this
Well,
new toy.
So I agree. Like, I don't enjoy it in the fact that, like, hey, I'm done with my Torghast this week, but I'm gonna go do more. No, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck no, I'm not doing that. But for something that I do have to do every week, it's not as painful and unenjoyable. Like, it's
So it's
still a
crucial.
chore. It's still a chore, but it's something that I'm like, at least I'm playing and enjoying my playtime, which could be, I will point out, could be attributed to me switching to Shaman, because Shaman powers in Torghast are fucking dope. So it's actually just fun mostly because of that, probably. Just coupled with the fact that it doesn't take as long.
Gotta live for those cute
It
croutons.
could just be that. It could have nothing to do with the Torghast changes. Like, the Torghast changes could just be shit and not do anything, but it could just be the Shaman's fun for me. I don't know.
Kind of two new toys in one. You got a new character. You got a Torghast with less layers to go through. So, well, hopefully that stays the case and we keep plowing through it. Like, I don't mind him either. I don't like him on the Shaman though, just because the Shaman gets like one shot in 9s. Like, I can't take hits, so that's not ideal.
Hey, Shaman is so fun when you get the Earth Elemental reduction.
Right.
So you can get it, if you get 2 of the powers that reduce its cooldown by 40%, you have it on a minute cooldown, and it lasts a minute. So you just have Earth Ellie up the entire time, and you don't take damage because you have a tank.
Okay, so that's the play. I realized too trying to go through it and not doubling up on animas. Like, it seemed like every other one it wasn't even possible because I wouldn't have the full selection.
It's not worth it to do that. Like, if doubling up on anima powers is super efficient for your clear time or just fun for your gameplay, then those points don't matter. Like, the only thing I do in Torghast is make sure I full clear and get all the soul remnants, get all the vases, kill all the shit, and easy, just run through it, and then I get my 5-star. I do, try to, like, plan out your empowerments, and that way you can get, like, a big pull going with lots of elites that you'll kill during your empowerment, just for the better empowerment bonus, which is more points. But other than that, like, that is pretty much the only thing I think about outside of just full clearing each floor. You don't have to get all these, like, random extra bullshit points from, like, no epic powers or no doubling up or whatever. It's not worth it.
So I still don't do the epic power one. I still skip that, but now I try and grab one because if you get like a stack of one of them, like 4 times, I think.
Still probably not long enough for you to ever get to that point. Honestly.
5 of each. If you get 5 of one thing, so that's the one I shoot for now. Is 5 of something rather than trying to avoid it because there was too many times where I was pigeonholed into doubling up. So.
Right.
All right, good deal. All right, so the WoW events this week, got a couple good ones, and I've noticed, or I found out, apparently every week we're gonna have a different PvP brawl. It's not gonna be this random like 7 of 10 days thing. Every week now we get a new PvP brawl. It's gonna be on the weekly Tuesday reset. So, just finished with Mr. Moose's favorite, the whole make Asheran great again. We're gonna run into PvP brawl, the Packed House. So I enjoy this one as a range class because you get to
Packed
sit
House
back and
is
just
so fun.
AoE, especially when I was playing Boomkin.
Yeah.
All right, and then Drew, you ever get into this? Like, you play mostly melee, so you ever get into this Packed House of?
You know,
It's fun in melee.
I tried it. I got destroyed like every single time. So
Did you go in as a healer though?
yeah,
That's why.
yeah. So I guess it's cool for some people.
Not fun. Not fun to heal him.
All right, so good deal. Get in there, get some of that scrum. It's 15 on 15, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And especially with them giving out, I'll have to check. Maybe I'll get into Asher. No, I'll wait till next week. I'll see what kind of item levels we get. Like if they're giving us a decent gear piece for that one piece that you get for a new thing, or it might be worth it. Just knock that out for the next couple weeks.
Oh. Piece of gear from what?
From doing the PvP brawl, it gives you a quest when you go in there, and it's called like a trying something new.
Is it an honor piece or a conquest?
I
Are they
don't.
not giving you the piece anymore? Or is it just?
I doubt it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it contains a gladiator quality piece of equipment. It's for doing something different. Maybe it's not weekly. Maybe it was a one-time complete.
Yeah, it's not a weekly. I'm pretty sure that's a one-time thing. To do one brawl. If you haven't done one.
Okay, or maybe it's the first time you do that one.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, well, I'll test it out this week and see what we can get out of it. And then we've got time walking, so it's going to be for WoD dungeons. If it stays the same, it gave a normal piece of gear last time for knocking out 4 or 5 of these. So with where gear's at and with where content's at, it may not hurt to grind these out. I don't know what the loot drop will be in there. Was that heroic equivalent? What was the normal?
The time walking dungeon drops are always poo poo. But the weekly will likely give 226. That's what it's been like that for the past 4 expansions of time walking. Is you get a normal item level raid piece for it, and then the drops are like poo.
Yeah.
Whatever Mythic 0 drops, maybe it drops that. If
It was
210.
below Mythic 0 last patch. I remember thinking about that. It's like, wow, these are really bad.
I thought it dropped 200 last patch.
No.
I want
The
to say it was
raid did.
below heroic, like heroic dungeon.
No.
Yeah, dude.
No
I would
way.
say It
Yeah,
was.
So the time
Because I was
walking
really
raid gave
surprised by
200.
it.
But I also don't think I did any time walking last tier at all, so I also don't know shit.
And you might be right, but I for some reason I remember thinking that they drop less than a regular heroic dungeon would drop. And I was like,
I think 200 sounds right,
Okay,
but
so 158
be
was
wrong.
what the bosses dropped. 200 is what the raid bosses dropped, like
Oh, wait.
Altair and like BC.
yeah, I was talking about the dungeon.
Yeah, 158.
Yeah.
So that's normal, right?
Yeah, so it's really bad.
200 was Nathria normal drops, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what Nathria normal? Yeah. So okay, that's why I was thinking 200.
Okay, but yeah, so I guess WoD's not going to have a raid with it, but it may be something, because I think when Firelands came around, the 200 item level trinkets, or no, Old Deer, I think their trinkets were powerful enough that with that item level 200, they were worthwhile to use for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like pretty much anything to do with time walking is really good for alts, but just crap for mains.
Right. Alright, so get out there, test it out if you get some time. I think the WoD dungeons are still pretty quick, because it was kind of towards that threshold right before Legion where they started making dungeons a little more streamlined and efficient. And then super exciting event coming up here this Tuesday. So 13th, we've got Luminous Luminaries. It's a micro holiday out in everybody's favorite dungeon expansion zone. It was the best one that dropped in Kata, I believe, is when we had this. Vijar. Drew, you remember this zone, right? Dearly.
I did it, I think, once, and I never went back.
Right. It brought back everybody's favorite experience of like Mario Brothers Water World. Like it was the dungeon or the most horrible experience ever trying to do water things. So
Except for, Mario was fine because it was in 2D. So you go up, down, left, right. But then in Vashir, you go all around and you can't know how far things are from you. And it was just bad.
all right. So if you enjoyed that zone as much as I did and as much as Drew did, this Tuesday, micro event, you get to go out there, swim in the abyssal depths to track down these glowing sea creatures. After you collect so many of them, you turn them into a vendor out there, and you're going to receive a buff that's going to last for 5 days. So you get to swim around in this shit zone, and then you get a buff that will only lasts for 5 days and doesn't make your character stronger in anything that matters. Because the buff will only matter in open world content. It won't carry with you into raids. It won't go into dungeons or PvP. So, completely worth it. Get out there, swim in those depths, collect those little glowy fish. So, Tuesday.
It's like the worst zone ever.
Luminous Luminaries. All right, good deal. So that's all we got going here for events. PvP season. So we got the Might.
That's why I came out here real quick, because I figured I kind of wanted to talk for a bit about PvP. Like I need a fucking cigarette.
And if you notice this with the product placement, Hakkd is sponsored by Marble. So is that held up in the camera for a little bit?
I am not.
All right, so 2 o'clock today Central Time, 2 o'clock Mountain Time, 2 o'clock sometime. What's the time there, Drew?
2 o'clock my time. My time rules all.
All right.
Yeah, it's Midwest.
3 o'clock Central.
All right, so for the rest of us in the real world, 3 o'clock Central Time.
You're in South Dakota or North Dakota or one of the Dakotas. You're not in the real world.
I'm in Central, so based on the name, it revolves around me. I'm the center.
That's true.
All right.
Central is the standard.
All right, so I guess first thing here, this 20 kills out in the new area to get this trinket. Who's all got this trinket so far? What are your thoughts on this thing?
I got it, and I haven't used it yet, but Drew can attest that we had it used against us.
Multiple times, and we didn't know what it was, and we were just like, well, I didn't know what it was. Hakkd knew what it was.
I knew exactly what it was. I didn't think it was going to be that good. It's good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it'd be a channel, so that was my first weird variable of it. You got to channel it while it's going off?
I like that because it's counterable.
Otherwise, it'd be way too powerful.
Yeah, it would be malediction all over again. Just feel bad.
All right, so item level.
Because I think you can dispel it still, and that would just cancel the channel.
All right.
And you can stun them. You can. I think that's really all you can do because you can't interrupt it. And you can't like knock them because they can channel it while moving. They're just slow.
Well, let's test it here today because one thing with the druid, I want to know if I can shift out of it, and since it's movement impairing, if it'll break it, or even with a gnome escape artist, since it's movement impairing, would those?
I don't
break,
think it's not movement impairing.
I thought it slowed them down. I thought that's the main thing.
It slows you down using it.
Oh, you're slowed when you use it, not the target.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But we plan on getting everybody up and going out and getting those 20 kills so that everybody can have one today. So yeah.
It goes fast.
All right, and then Hakkd and I did some twos. I was undergeared, so I was basically out there for about 2 hits or like 1 stun before I died. Then he continued to try and solo 2 people, so we got a couple wins in.
Dude, I wish I was streaming when me and Drew did twos the other night. I would have had a really good clip. I even told Drew after we won, I'm like,
dude, I wish I was fucking streaming this because I 2v1'd a Ret Pally and a BM Hunter.
Yeah.
Like full 2v1, like they were both full health when Drew died, and I fucking pumped them.
So what happened
Listen.
there, Drew? They were full health.
Well, the same thing that happens every time. They're just like, hey, fuck you, you don't get to cast anything. Stun. Interrupt. Pushback. Repentance. Fucking bullshit. Dead.
They just stun them up enough for the Ret Pally to go brah.
Yeah. It's like, dude. So me and Hakkd play this one, and like, I haven't seen this since like week 1 of the first season. Dude basically one-shot me. Like, and my paladin's not like really badly geared. Dude just came up, was like,
Yeah, it's a Ret Pally with the fucking Final Reckoning
yeah. It was
combo.
just like, what the hell was that?
Hit hard. It was, dude. I looked at the thing and it was, so your death log was fucking. It was 15k Final Reckoning, 15k Templar's Verdict, and then like 4 5k Judgments into a 20k Templar's Verdict, with like 10k Overkill.
Right.
Like it just boom.
And it was really weird because like
It was silly.
it brought he hit me. It brought me down to like, it was like 5% or something, right? And then you have to make the right decision at that point. And I didn't make the right decision. I had my bubble. I had Holy Shock off cooldown, and I hit my Holy Shock on me. And then I'm like, watching the global go. I'm like, I'm gonna die.
But I mean, we were learning together too. Like there were moments, because he's telling me, you know, hey, if you notice me doing anything wrong, like let me know. I want to get better. And you know, I'm still. First of all, I'm not like a god at PvP in the first place anyway, but I'm also on top of, you know, my decent-ish experience. I'm learning on the Elisham. So we had a game against Rogue Mage where, you know, he died, and like I think maybe your best choice there would have been to dispel the poly off me, and I maybe could have saved you, but I'm not even sure that saves you, you know. So it's fun, like just trying to figure shit out. It's also frustrating before you figure the shit out.
Yeah, I mean, it's week 1, right? That's my excuse for everything, by the way. It's week 1.
It's week 1.
So, on the topic there, so did a few arenas with Hakkd, and then combination of going through the pain guy, the checkerboard boss. I think the main switching over to Hunter now. I think we're going BM Hunter. So here's the reasoning is Torghast being like just smack down as a melee, and then the functionality of that boss, like having the ability to just kind of free reign, just run around as a hunter was kind of nice, because I can go pretty much anywhere in the map and still do my same rotation and don't have to stop to cast or anything like that. So convenience. And then if I'm doing like arena with Hakkd, we don't have the same class paired up with the same like benefits, like the totems he has and stuff like that. It's not. So
Yeah, but we still DR with each other on everything, like trap DRs with Hex, and we both have stuns. You have pet stun, I have lasso, and so I mean it's not really that much different.
all right,
Like,
at least
double
be able
Shami
to
came up.
kite like the
Right.
so we'll see. We might change again, but that's where we're at right now is the hunter, and I'm thinking about name changing or race changing him. So thoughts on going with either LynkzTV or Sylvan Lynx?
Sylvan Lynkz. Well,
Yeah, no.
the
Drew.
latter is better.
No LynkzTV.
I don't know if I like I don't know if I like either of them, but if I had to pick one, it would be the latter.
Drew, speechless.
Yeah. No.
just a no, a hard no for Drew.
Wow. See, your name selection was so bad it knocked Hakkd completely off.
No, I had to switch back over.
All right, good deal. So yeah, we'll see what has to come with PvP. TBC update. So it's week 6 in the world of TBC. The guild I'm in over there, we killed Gruul down and we one-shot it this week. So Gruul and High King. The Gruul one was a little bit rocky. I'll show you the clip of our kill over there for that week. It was here.
Rocky.
Right?
It's kind of funny.
We're being punny today. But here's the kill, and Pachua, I don't know what it actually means. I think it means onion? No, that's... I don't know what Pachua means, but we're going to say in Spanish it means clutch, because look at this kill here.
10k. It's seriously like 2 hit crits away.
Hunter, go, Hunter, go!
5.
No!
Everyone should
I'm
be
a
guessing.
melee.
Oh my god, 2k, 1k.
Oh my god.
Holy
Actually-
shit. Wait.
Yeah, when I did that stuff and it was current content, I think that was what our first kill looked like as well. Gruul is like that, man. Like the first time.
Well, so this is our 3rd week in there. 3rd kill, but we one-shot it this time. Usually it takes a couple times to get the rust off each week, but went in there, killed both of them on the first attempt for both of them, and then we spent like an hour and a half on mag before we threw in the towel. Like our gear is just not there for that fight yet. Like we're not being able to push through like phase 1 or yeah, I don't know. It's above my pay grade. I'll just keep showing up and healing and let somebody else figure out what our issues are. The same faction BGQ. So that was just a test. That wasn't permanent. What? I thought they had rolled it out, but no, they just tested it that week from the 2nd to the 6th. And they haven't provided any results from the test, but they did do a follow-up saying that they are going to try the test again in the future. But they said it's really close to 50-50 on wins for faction versus faction. Like, I've always thought like Horde won a majority, but apparently it's really close on 50-50, or the Blizzard blue poster guy lied. But we'll see what the results are. I was a little disappointed when I found out it wasn't permanent, because I was excited to be like, all right, I'm gonna do some PvP on.
All right, I can actually play. Sweet.
Yeah, because a lot of that gear transitions over. Like, it's not best in slot, but it's like top 3 or something like that to get PvP slots instead of farming dungeons. So
Right.
at least I could have chased after it. Alright, shout out on the show to Mr. Docs. Just subbed again for a year straight. Probably longest running sub for the
With the
channel. So
resub.
appreciate that, my guy. Can we have balls in chat for Docs?
Get some balls in the chat, y'all.
All right, so we'll see how that goes a little bit. Like, I was so disappointed they took that away from, like, I don't know why it's not
unfortunate.
permanent, but random thing that came up. So like, so you remember back in the day with BC, it was like these guys wearing this gear, like classic. It was like if they wore this gear, you're like, these guys are just badass and stuff like that. Like before transmog, the people with the gladiator gear or the people with the high-end raid gear. Like I think Drew said he used to wear his judgment armor just for looks because he couldn't actually raid with it. That was the classic thing, right?
Yep, you had your log out set and then your real set.
Right. This is what I wear to parties, and this is what I wear when I'm working.
Yeah,
So,
because your real set looked fucking ridiculous. You had like antlers and shit, and
antlers in
as
the
a
dress.
paladin, it just didn't work.
You had to wear the judgment to pick up the ladies.
Yeah, that's how it worked.
Get that.
That's how you find your wife.
Yeah.
Judgment gear.
Never got that belt.
Belt. It's a nice belt.
All right. So, weird story that took place. So, like, back in my TBC days, we played on a small server. Like, they could barely get one 25-man raid together. But there was a few guys that were gladiator geared, and there was like 3 sets of these like 2 guys that just basically sat by the PvP queue and just wore their glad gear and their another Drake mounts. But there was this LynkzTV guy back in the day, like him and his druid healer Kimmy. So like everybody knew him on the server because they were like the top warrior druid on that battle group. Well, this dude randomly showed up this week into the Horde guild I'm raiding on. Like, he randomly picked this server, randomly picked this guild to join. And when I was telling my buddies the server I was on, they queued over and they're like, who's this random 55 warrior named LynkzTV? I was like, oh yeah, he's pushing for Glad again, just trolling like I normally do. But it ended up being the real guy. Like, small world 15 years later ran into like all of us that are playing TBC again. Just how the stars line of 2 million people playing classic TBC. He picked the right server and the random right guild. So
yeah, that's fucking wild.
And I only found this guild because my neighbor next door is in it. Like, so crazy
cool.
odds of how things lined up. All right, and then
Yeah, that's insane, man.
I think we covered all the topics here. One thing we forgot last week was the Might raffle, though. Are one of you guys able to spin the wheels and figure out who the winner is for this week?
Yes.
This will be probably the last one, and it'll be for last month. We're gonna go forward with something new coming up here, and we'll probably flush that out here in the next couple weeks.
So, full disclosure, I don't remember the command.
Roll. Wait. Maybe it's got VR. Drew, shake the dice again. See if you can get this to happen.
Yeah, I don't shake the dice for you, buddy.
No.
Not on command like that.
Oh shit, I don't remember it. Well,
All right. And the winner is Candor again.
yeah.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might need to do it next week. We could have it ready for next week.
Do at Bay and see if he...
He's not online.
All right. So should we throw in the towel and just hype it up for next week? The final Might raffle drawing next week?
Yeah, we can do it next week.
Yeah, fine. They'll tell me, and then I'll have it ready for next week. I'll have it in my DMs ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to cover then, or you want to roll into final thoughts?
I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll throw it to you there, Hack, for final thoughts. What do you got for us?
Yeah, man, I was a little hesitant about 9-1. Just kind of hoping it would be good, but so far, man, I'm having a blast, and I have some big goals for 9-1 outside of raid. Like, I still have the basic, raiding goal of, AOTC with the guild, but outside of that, pushing Mythic Plus up, and I would like to hit a career high for Arena. Get the 2K achievement and Duelist, possibly Duelist achievement, but my goal right now is 2K in something, 2s or 3s. Possibly push to 2100 for the Duelist achieve.
All right, there we go. And then
I've got a lot of goals. I'll be around a lot. I'm having a good time, so I'm always down for shit.
and he is streaming now semi-occasionally, so
At least the raids. Yep.
all right, so at least Wednesday, Friday night you can catch Hakkd on the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, his information's down in the comments.
I will put out real quick. I might, since Cat's not streaming, it just depends on how I'm feeling really when I get home from work. I might just throw the stream up and just shoot the shit to kind of fill that slot that Cat was streaming a little bit. It's a little later in the afternoon, but it's usually like 1 to 2 Central.
Yeah.
Probably
Awesome.
hang out with everybody for a bit. So keep an eye out.
All right, good deal. And then Mr. Drew.
I just want to say during this last week that for a short period of time, I was number 3 warrior, North America. That lasted about, I think it was an hour. So that's a good amount of time, you know. So I'm pretty pumped about the season. You know, I've already hit my top, so you know, I guess I could retire if I wanted to. Number 3
Yeah, and
warrior. Yeah.
We have it screenshotted, so
Yeah. There you go. It's done.
it's there for
Anything from here on out is just cream on the top, you know.
Just cream on the top.
say about the cream, brother.
All right, good deal. Well, so to wrap things up here, you can catch us every Sunday morning, sometime after 8 o'clock Central Time, usually the latter of after 8 sometime. And then as for the stream schedule, I'm still trying to hammer it out with the boss and see what she wants to work out with the kids' schedule. Something coming up here in the next couple weeks, though. July 31st and August 7th, so a couple weeks out. The Morning Wood's going to come live for either Hakkd's channel or Drew's channel, because I'm going to be out of the country for a couple weeks trying to live the farmer life and see what that's like. So it'll be these two. I'll see if they have internet over there. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll log in and be part of it, but I won't be able to stream it from middle of nowhere. So
When was that you said?
the 31st and the 7th, those 2 weeks I'm out. So let these guys hammer out on who wants to do it, if they want to swap it. Either way, we'll have that information up. Check in the Discord, or we'll put it up in the YouTube for the prior videos. But throw them follows anyways. Drew's information is shared with Heels to see if we'll figure it out in the future. We'll get it figured out and how that lays out here in the next coming weeks. Again, next week, final Might raffle. Show up, see who wins that live. Hopefully we can figure out how the bot works, if our IT guy's around to fix it. But appreciate all of you that stopped out. Again, the comments, something you want to see, let us know. Hit the like button, subscribe, ding the bell. Appreciate all of you that stopped out.
Also, make sure you vote on what you think Lynx's hunter's name should be, because it's not going to be those two things that he said.
What? We can't do like a straw poll? We got to do like an open forum? All right, so if you're on Drew's side, put in the comments what you think my hunter should be called. If you agree that LynkzVanus or Sylvan Lynx are epic names, vote for those too. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, again, thank you guys for showing up. We'll see you sometime next week.